I hope y'all staying hydrated out there. You're gonna need to be for this one. What's going down, y'all, man? I'm back, and I just came back from watching The Killer's Game, and this is the newest film starring Dave Bautista. In this film, we follow the character of Joe, who is a hired hitman played by Dave Bautista. When Joe finds out that he has a terminal illness that is scheduled to kill him within the next few months, he decides to go ahead and put a contract on himself in order to get this done short and sweet. But quickly after this, he realizes that, oh, this doctor made a mistake and I'm not actually going to die. So somehow I got to get this contract off of me. And it leads to a bunch of fighting and murdering and killing between a bunch of different hired hitmen. And that's pretty much all that I'm going to get into here today without getting into too many spoilers, as yes, this is going to be another non-spoiler review. Now, I know I'm a little late to the party with this one. I usually try to get my reviews out as soon as possible, but if you watched my last review, my Beetlejuice review, you know I was out of town. So I didn't really, I kind of took last week off and I just chilled and I really didn't watch many films. So, I'm having to catch up on a lot of things this week. So tomorrow I'll be going to see Transformers and hopefully I can get that review out the same night. If not, it's going to be out Thursday morning. But y'all really don't come to these videos for all that much information. Y'all just come to find out what's going on with this film. And so we're going to get into it like we get into it every single time. And that we're going to get into some of the good. We're going to get into some of the bad. And we're going to get into some of these stats. My guy. And let's start off with the good like we usually do. And honestly, this film is a really fun one. Obviously, it's not going to gel with everybody. It's one of those films. It's honestly, like, it depends on where your range is with the type of action and story that this film is, but it's not giving you anything too complicated. It's nothing that you haven't seen before, nothing that we haven't seen a million times before. It just adds a tad bit of a different premise onto it, but it pretty much tells the same story that we've seen a million times before. It's the John Wick. I gotta fight all these guys off to protect myself. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It's the story that we've seen a million times before, and this film just adds a tad bit of a different twist, but doesn't do that much different. And with that said, this script doesn't ask too much out of the actors. Nothing too much that requires a whole slew of effort, for lack of a better term. Not saying that you could just sleep through a role like this, but it doesn't require the level of gravitas that certain other films would here in this film. So with that, we do get a few performances that maybe are up to snuff with some of these actors' regular work, or maybe they are up to snuff with some of these actors' regular work, and it's just not that great. There's a lot of lines of dialogue, there's a lot of line deliveries that are a little wonky here and there, but, honestly, if you can take it for what it is, then, it is what it is. There are some actors that are typically pretty funny actors that, have some lines in this film that just don't come off really well for them. And it's not that they don't naturally meld with the character. It's just that it doesn't really fit. It doesn't really work 100%. For some reason, it just doesn't click all the way. The film does have a lot of funny moments, though. There's plenty of moments that are going to get you to giggle a little bit, whether that be in some of this grotesque and awesome action, or it's in a few of the lines that actually do manage to get you to snicker and giggle a little bit. Because there are some funny lines in this film, there are some funny deliveries, there are some things that just work exactly how they were supposed to, and there are others that, just don't hit. But other than some, lackluster performances, and some less than stellar writing choices, and honestly a few lazy decisions made in that writing room, honestly this film was pretty fun. Like I said, it managed to make me laugh more than a few times, and honestly the action was steadily there. Like, it was consistent and it was good throughout the film. And while, yes, a lot of the action is wacky and, exaggerated, it doesn't make it any less fun. It's really cool to see some of these stunts and action set pieces. And though some of them don't make sense, a lot of them are fun. So honestly, this movie didn't leave me with a whole lot to say, but I could honestly see, I don't want to say that it will become, but I could see this movie finding a cult fan base in there somewhere along its lifeline. I could see a lot of people gravitating towards a film like this, especially if you're really into these type of films, these high octane action films, rated R action films, your crank high voltages, your John Wick films, and I know that's like a big discrepancy between those films, but like if you're into like those type of action films, those gritty action films that have some exaggerated and some fun violence, I think it could work for some people. Other people, it's a take it or leave it type of thing. But we're going to start breaking this thing down into the grades here. And for casual movie audiences, we're going to give this film about a C. For movie fans, we're going to give this film a C-. And critically, we're going to give this film a D. When we're talking about The Killer's Game, I think this is one that, depending on who you are, I'm going to give it go ahead and skip it and rent it at home. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get what I'm saying about this film here wrong and thinking that I dislike the film. I had a good time watching the film. There, two things can be true at once. I can both have a really good time watching the film and I can enjoy it for what it was, but I can also acknowledge that it wasn't the best film out there. So yeah, that's honestly, those are my thoughts on The Killer's Game. Like I said, tomorrow or today, by the time this video drops, I'm going to be seeing Transformers 1. I'll try to get that review out as soon as possible. Probably be seeing a few more things this week. I'm out of the whack. I gotta go see movies, dude. But as for now, like, that's it, dude. Like, stay hydrated, I guess. And I'll see you next time. Later.